Hello Steelers and welcome to another bench report. I thought actually I'd not done a great deal this week, but it turns out when I made a list of all the things that I'm going to talk about in this video, that I'd actually done quite a lot of stuff. So we'll see how long it's going to be, but sit back and relax and enjoy this bench report. First of all, really, I didn't really get a great deal of stuff painted, to be perfectly honest. There's only some bits and pieces. The main thing was, well, I've finished another Landwehr base for Blucher, so that's another brigade done out of about the 60 or so that I've got to do. So I think I'm about 4 or 5 in now. There's quite a few more left obviously to do, but at least I'm chipping away at them. I also started undercoating some Peter Pig civilians as well, which I got the other week. I'm just putting those together just for refugees and civilians and nuns with guns as well for the 1940 Blitzkrieg stuff, and also for everything else really, anything else in other games. So they'll fit quite well. But I don't really like painting civilians because I can never decide on what colours to paint them, and they always seem to take a lot longer than uniformed infantry. So they'll be sat on the desk until their staring eyes really get on at me. The other thing I also painted as well, this is why I've not painted everything, is these 4 Marmon Harringtons that Richard Hogg sent over to me. So there's 4 of them here, and unfortunately when I got back from work on Friday, I gave them a coat of spray varnish, and for the first time ever, the Winsor & Newton that I've been using, and I literally used it for 10 years with no problems, it frosted on them. So I tried to resuscitate the varnish by respraying it, and that didn't work. I then tried with a gloss varnish, that also didn't work, and I tried again with another coat. So they've had about 5 coats of varnish, but so they now look like little lumps of varnish more than anything else. I've lost all the detail on them, and they're still frosted, so I'm pretty annoyed about that. They didn't take a great deal of time to paint. They were pretty quick to paint, to be fair, but I thought, you know, that hopefully I'd at least completed them and got them out of the way. So I asked on Twitter what's good for stripping resin, because they're resin prints, and a couple of people mentioned some products. So I bought some. I'm just waiting for that to come through, so some paint stripper. I'll get those stripped, and we'll see where we are with those after that happens, after that little ignominy. So a bit annoyed about that. However, I did knock out 3 allotments for anything really, for Chain of Command, Sharp Practice, any games really. These were done with 3D printed materials from Sabotage, and just some grass tufts and static grass mounted on plastic card. Dead easy, nice and simple, and they're really nice for filling up a table. I'm going to make quite a few more of these, and just in different shapes. And I will, somebody did ask, I will make a tutorial video on these as well for some point in the future, because they are incredibly simple, and you know, I did 3 in half a day. The longest part of them is just waiting for the materials on them to dry. So they're dead simple, but really nice, just like I said, to fill up a table really, as much as anything else. I also started work on the ruined cottage as well, but I got from Patrick Miniatures. Again, this has got Sabotage 3D printed fences and gates as well with it, and I've just started building up some rubble here. So this is just a work in progress. I'll probably get this finished this week. It's going to be quite busy with work this week because I'm going to be out at an excavation. I'll talk about that later on, but that's something to start and get done this week, so that's what I'm going to be working on. Also in the post I mentioned the Prussians. I got some, they're in this bag here. I got some Prussian generals from Bacchus, so just a couple of sets of these. These are just to add to the bases because the 3D printed ones don't have any individual generals, and I just like to have a general on the base just to make them look like a little vignette, so I can now start on some of the line infantry. And I was chatting to Paul the other day as well about doing getting some more Prussians from him, so that again is going to be something that I'm really going to be pushing for the next few weeks at least as I go. I mentioned them already, but I also got 3D printed fences from Paul over at Sabotage. Now these are not on his website. I don't know where he got the STL files from, I'm not sure, but he sells them. If you do want some of them, you probably can't see them very well in the in there, but they are nice 3D little printer fences. Some have got gates on them as well, and I just wanted a whole load of them so I can make a lot of scenery out of these, including the Patrick 3D mini printed stuff as well. So just email Paul and ask him what he's got, and he's very amenable to taking on any kind of works and stuff, and if I can push some work over his way, then that's a good thing. Also as well, I've got some 1/200th, I've got to find them, 1/200 scale bricks this week. This is all in the post. These are railway modelling bricks. They're 1/200 scale, so they're close to 15mm, probably slightly small, but because they're going to be broken up and used as rubble, I'm not bothered, because I'm going to be using them on the miniatures, on the Patrick Miniatures house as part of the rubble. I'm just going to do a bit of experimentation with that, so I wanted something that looked like brick, you know, rather than just sand painted various colours. So I've got those as well. The other thing I got as well in the post was, these have literally just been released. These are the Geek Villain modelling pigments. So I picked up 2 of these. Farmland and Dark Soil I got. I thought those are good enough ones. They've got quite it's a brand new range. I think it only was released last week. And they've got quite a number of these, and they're quite big tubs as well, so you get quite a lot of pigments in these. And modelling pigments are a great way of just enhancing vehicles and buildings and things like that. I might do a review on these at this point. I think I probably will do. Whether it comes out this week or the week after is another matter. But I'll show you the ones that I've got at least. We could talk about them. I think they're very good though, and they've superseded the old Revell ones that I've been using for quite a few years now. They do go a long way as well. That's a good thing about them. You don't need a whole load of them. Also this weekend, just gone, yesterday in fact, I was over at Chilcon, the local, very local show to me. I know that I said the Joy of Six is a local show. This one's even more local because it's actually round the corner from where I used to live. Now it's about 15 minutes away. Over in Sheffield. It's a very nice little show. It's new. It's the first one since 2019. I think I've got a 2019 show report. Oh no, the 2019 one. There's a funny story attached to Chilcon. The first Chilcon show I was going to go to was the 2019 one, and it was going to be the first time that I was going to film a show as well. So I'd been going around taking photos in previous years. I think of the Vapnatak show just before that, and then the Chilcon one was the next one. And I decided, right, I'm going to make some video of the shows, and I wasn't really sure how to do it. And I got to the show, and nervousness got the better of me, and I bottled it, and I left the camera in the car. So all you get is a show report with video, with photos from that. I think from that Chilcon show. I'm fairly sure I did it. But obviously this time, several years later, I'm much happier to go around shows and film things and get interviews. So I did exactly that, and there is a video of that coming soon. That will be, I think I'm going to release it tomorrow, Monday. It's already edited and stuff. I just wanted to sit on it for a little while, so I'll put that out tomorrow, so look out for that. It has a couple of interviews with Dave, who did a large zombie game, also with Josh from the Pickle Jar YouTube website, and Luke as well from Geek Gaming Scenics. Luke and I were having quite a long chat. Actually, we're talking about cameras for a while, and he also we were talking about maybe getting together and having a game as well, because I know he's interested in doing some historical stuff in smaller scales just to give it a bit of a boost. So I said I'd be more than happy to come along and have a chat with those guys. So whether that happens or not, we'll see. But we are now in touch via Facebook, so you never know. There might be a little collaboration coming along on that part. But I'll not say too much more about that at the moment, just because, as I say, it was just something we chatted about. This week, in gaming wise, I started Arkham Horror living card game campaign. I did the first scenario of the Innsmouth Conspiracy campaign, which came out a year or so ago, I think. Now it's been around for a while, and I've just kind of been sat on that for a bit. It's been in my box. I've been meaning to play it, and I just haven't had a chance. So I started that. The thing with Arkham is I absolutely love it. I think it's a fantastic game, really, really good. So innovative and so clever, and the more cards you add to it, the better it gets. But you get to a point where it becomes slightly intimidating, and you have to spend a lot of time looking at the cards and understanding the cards and understanding the different characters. There's a lot of different characters in there, and how all the cards act together. Now there are a couple of good apps out there, like the Arkham Horror database, for example, which has all the cards on it, and also it has a lot of user-made card decks, some of which are good, some of which are not so good, but it does mean that you can just dive straight in, find a character and just go, right, okay, I'm going to take this set, this particular character's cards that somebody's made. And they do get ratings as well, so you can see which ones are popular and which comments and stuff. So there is a bit of help there a little bit with it, but yeah, it's still quite an intimidating game just to even set up. But I'm going to try and play another scenario this afternoon if I get a chance. I'm sure I will, because I don't really have anything planned for this for today, this Sunday, because I'm going to be working, I think, all next weekend. So I'm kind of having a bit of a chill day today, really. So I just wanted to start on that. Also, popped over to my mate's house last night, Lauren and Steve, and we played Etherfields, which is by Awakened Realms. It's their new board game. I think it's just been released on Kickstarter. Steve had gone all in and paid thousands of pounds for it. Not really, but he paid quite a lot of money for it. But it's absolutely well worth it. It's a beautiful looking board game. You may know Awakened Realms for their game Nemesis, which leans very heavily on Alien. And it's a great game because there's a lot of chance for backstabbing and being nasty and stuff in it. This one's slightly different. It's a co-op game, but it's based on Dream Worlds and also the Waking World. And the way that the two interact together is really interesting. Some really nice mechanics in it. You kind of have to explore the maps in both worlds to open up more possibilities as well. And what I like as well is there are kind of like side adventures that you can go on, which are called slumbers, which are generally smaller than the bigger sleep dreams. So yesterday we did the introductory slumber, then we did a smaller slumber, and then we went on to another big dream as well. And in both of them really enjoyed it. The thing is with the slumbers is, whatever you do in those, you kind of carry this, if I remember correctly, you carry it over into the dream. So if you get damaged or if you pick up items or anything, you can either get those bonuses or negatives for when you go into the dream itself. But then at the end of the dream, when you wake up, that's it. You wipe everything clean. So you start again when you go back into it. In our first slumber, not the starting one, that's in the game itself, we were kind of being pursued by some kind of wraith. We had to drag it into the sunlight and then attack it. That was relatively easy and it gave us a few bonuses, but then we went into the big dream itself, and this one instead we had to try to get out of a maze. And because it's all done on cards, we had to turn the cards around so we could actually move around the maze. But also at the same time we were getting dogs spawning and they were coming after us, and we were so close to actually getting to the end of it. It was like literally skin of the teeth, and then we got overcome by the ghostly dogs. But it was great though, really good fun. But we were playing it for about 6 hours or something ridiculous. But yeah, it was good fun and really enjoyed it. I'd like to crack on again. And also the way it works is that you can add characters to it. So whenever you want, they don't all have to go in together. So my mates, they can play a game without me, and then they could play another game in a couple of weeks, and I can jump in whenever I want to. So it's like, whenever the characters are asleep, basically. Also, last week as well at the club, we played a big game of O Group. We had a Sunday gaming day, so this came in after the Lardy event. We played a big game of O Group based on 30 core, trying to get up the road to Arnhem. The British were attacking up the road against German defenders. Myself, Dex and Kev played as a German defenders. They kind of put me in overall command against Terry, James and Dave fighting as 30 core. And it was a good way to test out the rules to Breaking Point, really, just to see how much we could get on and have a really big game. And it was good fun. It could have gone either way. It went the British way in the end. They won literally on foobars right down to down to the wire. I keep finding that these O Group games do go right down to the wire, so they're good fun. because of that, and you never know who's going to win at the end of it. Also, last week, as I mentioned, I was up at Otterburn. We all finished off up at the Yatesfield site. Fantastic excavation. We found some Bronze Age pottery. We found what we think is a working floor for probably for on the edge of a roundhouse or something. Found quite a few quernstones as well, and lots of flints, so lots of finds came out of it. Really interesting. We had a great group of volunteers from Revitalising Reesdale and a great group of veterans from Operation Nightingale as well, ably helped by Breaking Ground Heritage and Dickie Bennett and his mob. And I think everybody enjoyed themselves, and a lot of people who hadn't done archaeology before really enjoyed it and were very enthused by it, so that was fantastic. This week, tomorrow on Monday, I'm starting the excavations at Lodgemore Prisoner of War Camp here on the edge of Sheffield. This is a project that I've been long working on, because just because COVID put us off for a couple of years. I've finally actually got the thing off the ground. I've managed to get tenders out. I got some contractors in. CFA Archaeology are going to be doing the work for us at the Sheffield Lakeland Landscape Partnership, and over the next 2 weeks. Now, if you're interested, I will put details in the description of the video down below. It's free to come along. All you have to do is get the tickets on Eventbrite. They are free. You just have to sign up for them. Just choose what days you want to come along, or which mornings or afternoons, and you will be more than welcome. No experience whatsoever is necessary, and it's going to be an interesting site on an interesting Second World War prisoner of war camp. I'll not say any more about that because we have been pushing it elsewhere on social media, but if you are interested, please do come along. Finally, just to wrap up, the Stone and Steel Facebook page is still out there. Go and check that out. Also the group as well. I will add you if I see you as soon as I can. Sometimes people try to get into it when I'm asleep, so it takes a few hours, but in general I'm pretty quick in admitting people to the group, so just do check that out, and there's quite a few photos and stuff of people posting things in there. And also, if you're in there, please do post stuff as well. Then very finally, I'll just say once again, if you want to support the channel, you can do through memberships as well, which I've opened up on the channel. I've also got the Patreon as well, if you want to get that. In both of those, you get early access to ad-free videos as well, of any of my big Friday videos. So whichever ones are scheduled, you'll get access to those early with no adverts. So do check those out. And you can buy me a one-off coffee as well if you want as well, if you don't want to be tied into a Patreon or a membership. Either way, both of those work. Alright, as I said at the start, I thought I didn't really have a great deal to talk about, but here we are nearly 20 minutes into it, so I will wrap up there, and I'll say thank you very much for watching this Bench Hobby Report, and stay tuned for the next one.